16-year-old Ahmed Abdi is one of the thousands of returnees from Dadaab, a sprawling refugee settlement in northeastern Kenya, home to more than 300,000 Somali refugees. He is now helping his mother to fend for their family by sewing clothes under this tree in a camp in the port town of Kismayo, some 500 kilometers south of Mogadishu. Ahmed's family moved here as part of a voluntary refugee return program sponsored by the United Nations refugee body UNHCR, but he had to drop out of school after arriving in Somalia.
There is no free education here. All the school-going children are now at home. I lived in the Dadaab refugee camp for 6 years. There we received a lot of support, but now we are back home, but we have no life here.
Close to 100,000 refugees have returned back to Somalia since 2015. But inside these camps, returnees don't have access to water and healthcare, prompting some to return back to Dadaab camps in Kenya.
As UNHCR, are very happy to assist the federal government and the local administrations in the country to create better conditions in the country so that not only for those who are returning but also for those internally displaced and the host community. About 100,000 coming from Kenya. But the challenges are massive, as you can see, that the country still requires absolute reconstruction, schools, shelter, health facilities, all the very basic facilities that are quite of a challenge.
Aid agencies say that Somalia's humanitarian crisis is one of the most challenging worldwide. Close to 1 million Somalis are believed to have been displaced by 3 decades of conflict. Ministers from the regional bloc IGAD are meeting in Kenya's capital, Nairobi, to discuss Somalia's refugee crisis. The meeting is also set to review the progress made in the reintegration of Somali refugees, as well as to come up with durable solutions to address Somalia's protracted humanitarian crisis. The UN refugee chief was recently in Somalia, vowing to seek more support to help in the reintegration of refugees from Kenya, Djibouti and Yemen.
I come here also as a senior United Nations official, and I can promise you that I will be your advocate with the international community for more support and more assistance to come to Somalia as a whole. We know that this is the area with the largest number of returnees in the whole country.
China has donated millions of dollars in its multi-sector assistance aid program that has assisted thousands of vulnerable communities fleeing conflict and drought. But with emerging conflicts across the globe, humanitarian experts warn that more needs to be done to alleviate the conditions of Somali refugees, both at home and abroad. Abdulaziz, Billow, CGTN, Mogadishu, Somalia.